What's up, everyone? I'm Spencer Grzywacz, and back with us is Leigh Waldman after her extended period off where she was interning at CNN. I hope you had a great spring, summer, and now you're back with us for the fall.
And hopefully here to stay for a very long time. Never gonna graduate. How was your summer?
It was good. I got tan, but I'm wearing
nice
makeup
glow.
right now too for the first time, maybe on notice, I don't know. But you know, I like to think I look good. So, oh, thank you. In other news, this past weekend, Adrian Peterson lost a knee, but Colin Kaepernick is still on one. So, you know.
Good to hear. And you know, he is starting a movement.
Yeah, he is. You know, lots of different opinions going around about that. We'll address it a little bit, but not very much on this show. But we do have a lot to talk about on this show, so you want to take us away?
Let's get started. Okay. So, Shaq earlier this week became an internet sensation after doing the Faded Challenge, which involves Kanye West's Faded music video in a very Shaq-esque way. I think he should really stick to basketball, though.
I don't know, I'm kind of curious about this. He starts off slow. I remember watching this video before.
Yeah,
He kind of starts off slow, but...
Get the little rock going along. Oh, get it. Look back at it.
He's mean, like, I can kind of do that.
I think Shaq looks better than you do.
Oh, he's killing that.
And the boxers are out, everyone.
Now
we know what is underneath.
I have shorts like that.
Do you?
I do.
Wear them next week.
In other news, Rice rolled Friday. The Baylor Bears visited Rice Stadium to take on the Rice Owls in a very one-sided game. Although it wasn't any football plays that made headlines, the Rice marching band did. During halftime on College Game Day, the Rice marching band marched in formation of the Title IX logo, not so subtly displaying their distaste toward Baylor's recent controversy. I guess if you can't beat them, you control them.
Number 1 in college football rankings, Clemson is in the news again for winning, but this time they got some bad PR. The Clemson Tigers played the South Carolina State Bulldogs on Saturday and didn't hold back. By halftime, the score was 0-59. The refs even shaved a whole 6 minutes off the second half. It killed them.
That's crazy, knowing how long Tech football games go. I kind of wish they'd, you know, shave 6 minutes off of our time too.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with this picture? It's pretty simple. Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, or former offensive coordinator, isn't a part of the team anymore. Immediately after taking the Bills team picture last week, Rex Ryan said goodbye to Roman, but hey, at least they got his pretty face in their media guide.
Oh, that's rough for him. Just crop it out.
Yeah,
You know when you throw some shade at someone on your Instagram, you crop them out and you only put yourself? Yeah. So Tom Brady may have been banned from the sidelines and from NFL stadiums for 4 games because of his involvement in Deflategate, but that didn't stop one mysterious fan from wearing a Brady mask to the Patriots' home opener this weekend against Miami. After posing for pictures with a few fellow fans, the mysterious Brady supporter revealed himself, and it is an ex-Patriot and former Red Raider, Wes Welker. Welker is getting some pretty big friendship goals there.
I would pose as you on the show.
Would you?
Yeah, I could wear a Lee mask when you're not here, or a Bailey mask. We can get a Bailey mask. Remember Bailey?
I could definitely be a Bailey mask. Yeah, go Bailey. She has the best hair.
She does.
Yeah.
All right, cool. J.R. Smith and Darrelle Revis had Twitter beef this weekend after the Jets' 7-time Pro Bowler was burned by rookie wide receiver Marquise Goodwin for an 84-yard touchdown pass. Now, that's not where it stopped, because Smith committed that Revis Island was becoming a tourist resort too, which Revis so kindly reminded Smith, which was one of them was a future Hall of Famer. It might be a rough start to the 2016 NFL season for Darrelle Revis, but at least he can still shut down the haters on Twitter. Quite the Twitter beef. I don't know if you ever get involved in Twitter beef, but...
I don't really tweet that much. I need to step up my Twitter game.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, our ads are there. You can, right here, our ads. You can add us on Twitter.
You can follow us. I promise I'll tweet more if you follow me. Anyway, so on Saturday, the Michigan Wolverines had an on-field 45-28 victory over the Colorado Buffaloes. However, 3 Michigan fans were arrested and 22 were ejected from the game. And it may have something to do with the revised roster made by the Buffs for the Wolverines. The roster included Eric Cartman at left tackle, Danny DeVito at quarterback, and Peter Griffin at weak safety, which honestly, I think it probably would have made for a much more interesting game.
Oh, absolutely. Peter Griffin, that's my dude. That's my dude.
Yeah, I dig it. Family Guy is my go-to show at night.
And a little bit of hazing. Carson Palmer ran out onto the field Sunday afternoon dressed as Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from the classic film Ghostbusters, but he didn't look soft as his Cardinals beat the Buccaneers 40-7. This was the second time in the last 4 weeks that Palmer has lost the weekly quarterback challenge, where all 3 quarterbacks on the roster attempt to throw a football in a trash can from a long distance. You know, great player, great quarterback, love him on fantasy, but dude, make the football in the trash can. You don't have to go through
this. But I think he would be the tastiest s'more. That's just my personal opinion.
Oh man.
So now I think what we're gonna have is what's gonna become my favorite session of this show. Top 5 weird shit going on. So let's start off. Go ahead, Spencer.
All right, at number 5, this should be familiar to all Tech fans out there. Arizona State's 8-touchdown performance by Kalen Ballage, correct me if I'm not saying that wrong, you can at me on Twitter to correct me, ran an NCAA record of 8 touchdowns in the second week of college football season against, of course, our Texas Tech Red Raiders. Let's move on to number 4.
Number 4, Florida State, is it overhyped or overlooked? It looks like he's just looking off the distance.
After their drudging
very
they took to Louisville and Lamar Jackson, I think they're probably a little overhyped.
I think I would agree, and I think he agrees as well.
He's just overlooking their weaknesses on their team.
So number 3.
Davis Webb, 50 points on former Texas Tech quarterback, ran up 50 points against Texas, and that gave the California Bears their win over the state's most overrated school, those UT Longhorns down there in Austin. Horns down.
Horns down for sure. We're at number 2 now?
Yep.
Number 2, it is the resurgence of Texas again. Not that great, just very overrated, if you ask me.
Yeah, now important to note on that, this is going back in time to week number 1 when they beat Notre Dame. All of a sudden everyone went crazy, they were number 11 in the nation. Obviously, our boy Davis Webb humbled them this past week.
He threw it down.
Number 1 on our countdown, Houston versus OU, going all the way back to week 1. Baker Mayfield failed yet another school in Oklahoma's big opening loss at number 6, Houston. And then he lost again to Ohio State. I don't know what else you can really say about that.
Felicia, that's all I gotta say.
In other news, now we have a couple of predictions to make. Now we don't have a guest with us on set today, so you'll have to do.
Oh, and my predictions will be spot on, which is important because we're gonna get our viewers at home get involved in what the consequences are gonna be. So if you go to our Twitter page, you can vote on what consequence the loser will have to do. So my task, I guess, is whoever loses has to wear their hair in a faux hawk for the next show.
Now I could rock a faux hawk. I used to do it when I was in 6th grade when everybody rocked faux hawks.
But it has to be like a legit faux hawk. I'll do it for you.
I don't know how you're gonna rock a faux hawk when you lose. Now
It'll be like
my suggestion was the winner has to dress the loser for the entire next show. So you decide the winner. So I will be deciding basically, because I'm gonna win.
If you vote for that one, I'll put Spencer in a bikini.
Oh man, show off some tan lines.
Stay tuned.
But anyways, let's get down to the predictions.
Okay.
But go vote for that on Twitter to see what the loser has to do next show.
Yes.
So first off, we have Patriots versus the Houston Texans coming up this weekend. Who you got?
Well, I have very strong feelings about the Texans. I strongly feel that they're an overgrown Pee-wee squad, so I'm going to have to go with the Patriots. I cannot root for the Texans.
J.J. Watt as a Pee-wee player. Okay.
Well, I have tweeted him before to marry me, and he did not answer, so I'm a little salty.
Yeah, I could see that.
Thanks, JJ.
I've tweeted Tom Brady to marry me, and he didn't answer either. So I'm taking the Patriots, though, anyways, because I agree. Patriots are just the best football team. Now, they're without Jimmy Garoppolo. They're without Tom Brady. But I have faith in Bill Belichick in the system. They're going to beat the Texans. I do. Sorry, Houston. Love you, but,
Okay.
Next
we have Georgia versus Ole Miss. What do you got for that?
I'm going Georgia. I think this game's a toss-up anyways. I think the SEC is actually weaker this year than they have been in the past. But I'm going Georgia.
Well, I have a few friends at Ole Miss, and they told me I have to give them a shout-out, and that I have to go for Ole Miss anytime that they're playing. So I'm just going to go against you here and go Ole Miss.
All right. What about Wisconsin versus Michigan State, keeping this college football rolling?
Well, they're both pretty good teams. I think I got a little guidance before the show, but I think I'm going to go for Wisconsin because they're a little underrated, I think, and I think they're going to pull through.
Yeah, I'm going Sparty here. I'm going with the Spartans, right?
Not the little honey
Yeah, I'm a
badgers?
big, no, I'm going with the Spartans this one, so that'll be another win for me.
Okay. And next up, we have the Broncos versus the Bengals. What you feeling?
So I have invested interest in this. I have Andy Dalton and AJ Green on my fantasy football team, but I think that Denver defense is bad. Man, they are good. They are so good. The contradiction, they're bad meaning good.
Yeah.
For you youngins out there, but yeah, I gotta go with Denver. I have to go with Denver.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you because a strong defense is the key.
Yeah, defense wins championships.
It really does. Yeah, so I'm going to have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
So we're kind of on the same page. Got a little sync going.
Absolutely. Okay, let's roll on to Vikings versus Panthers. This is the last prediction, so you make it good because
Oh gosh.
this is for your faux hawk.
Gonna prediction gods rain down on me. I like Panthers better than I like Vikings. I literally have no football to back that up. I just like them better.
Yeah.
So.
I have to go with the Panthers as well. Cam Newton, Superman.
Oh yeah.
Adrian Peterson, as we mentioned earlier, is not playing. They've already lost Teddy Bridgewater. Oh man, poor Vikings. They can kind of relate to us Cowboys fans right now. But,
they really, really can.
Yeah.
So when we come back, we're going to have a very special video for you where we ask you at Texas Tech what your knowledge or lack thereof of fantasy football is. Stay tuned.
All right. So first of all, what's your name?
Connor.
Connor. Hey Connor. So we're talking a little bit about fantasy football. Do you play fantasy football?
No, not at all. Really.
Okay, that's good. That's fine. So, do you know what fantasy football is?
Fantasy football is, yeah.
Describe it in your own words.
It's just like your own football world and like your own fantasy team that you get to make and you get to choose all your players.
Okay. Do you know what fantasy football is?
Yes, sir.
How would you describe it in your own words?
Almost like I want to say a monopoly in a way.
I like it. I like it. Monopoly.
So if you could give me your rough definition in your own words of what fantasy football is.
It's like building a league and like building your team, and then your players play like whenever the actual games go on, and then their stats are based on the actual stats of the games, and then you play against your team, and I guess like they play for money. So
first off, do you play fantasy football?
I do, yeah.
All right, cool. So what's your team name?
It's not appropriate, so.
Oh, see, that's fine. Mine's Gronky Kong, Orthodontic and Sud, dude. Right, that's what we're dealing with. But in other news, do you have a favorite football team?
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, lots of Cowboys fans out here. Who are you starting this week?
For my fantasy, I'm starting Cam Newton, the Carolina defense, OBJ.
Okay, so fantasy football has really weird names. Spencer over there was just telling us his was Gronky Kong. If you could come up with the weirdest, coolest fantasy football league name, what would it be?
I don't know. Probably Pumpernickel.
Well, I love it. Okay, thank you so much. Can you come up with like a super weird name that you would name your fantasy team if you had one?
Pigeon Unicorns.
Pigeon Unicorns, folks. That is great.
Gucci Mane's ice cream cone.
That is perfect.
I don't know. How do you keep up with that? What? The Wimpy Dimples?
Wimpy Dimples, folks. You heard it here first. Okay, and thank you so much, people of Texas Tech, for participating in our little video. And be sure to look out for us on campus. We'll be seeing a lot more.
Yeah, hopefully. We love the interaction there. Love it. So
We have the best student body ever.
wreck 'em.
So, they just announced the superstar who is going to be performing the halftime performance at the Super Bowl. The one and only Lady Gaga.
Superstar, more like super fake. Now, don't get me wrong. She puts out some decent music. This is not a very common, I'm going to get roasted for this, not a very common opinion, but I think all of her theatrics is just to get attention, which is what the Super Bowl halftime show is about. They don't care about necessarily great music, they care about a great show, which is why I think she got this gig. Who was it? There was a lady who came out and said, the singer, Adele maybe? No. Megan Trainor, somebody came out earlier mentioning about how they were asked to do the halftime show, and she said she didn't want to do it because it wasn't about it was more about the show and not her singing.
But I think that's kind of what the people want when they want to see a halftime performance. I don't know, I'm not trying to throw any shade here, but I wasn't crazy about the one last year until Queen Bey came on the field. That was amazing. But beforehand, I think it was a little lackluster. I wasn't that involved. No one really listened to that music in a while. So I think it was lacking a little bit there, but I think Lady Gaga is gonna bring a performance that we haven't seen since like Katy Perry. If she comes rocking her meat dress, I guarantee you I will wear a meat dress to whatever Super Bowl party I attend. Thank
That's
you.
a deal. That's a deal.
Yeah. I'll wear a bacon crown. Flower crowns are out, bacon crowns are in. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. All right, that is interesting. So expect to be seeing Leigh wearing a bacon crown.
And be sure to check out women's volleyball this Saturday at 1 p.m. at the USA. And if you can't make it to that, there is women's soccer again at home on Sunday at 1 p.m. also. Check it out. Cheer on your Lady Raiders.
Absolutely. And as always, that's Leigh Waldman. I'm Spencer Grzywacz. It's been a great show. Thank you for interacting with us. Look for us around campus. We want to reach out to you, tweet us, add us on Instagram. We're out there. And thank you for tuning in to Raider Report.
Wreck 'em, wreck 'em, wreck 'em, wreck 'em, wreck 'em.